Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to do a review on this DeliBru Reusable K Cup. This is number 4 on Amazon's best-selling reusable K Cup, and they're $4.25 each. So this has got it feels pretty nice. You're going to put your coffee grounds right here. It's got this lid. It's got an O-ring on it. You know, it holds tight. I think the lid could be just a little tighter. It's got a wire mesh for the screen, and it's got a nice wire mesh on the bottom. Now, what's nice about these reusable K Cups is they're the same size as a normal K Cup. And the reason that's important is because when you go to put them in your Keurig machine, you can leave your needle basket in. They fit in there they got a little recessed area for that bottom needle to fit in, and then the top needle is going to go right there. Some reusable K Cups, you got to take the needle basket out, which can be kind of a pain. So I like using these that you can just leave everything together. So again, it's got a place for the needle to go on the top and a place for the needle to go on the bottom. Normally that needle on the bottom punctures this, but it's not going to puncture this. It's just going to go sit right there. Let's look at the top. This has got a little bit different. This is like a little different diffuser. Nice big opening. So as far as which Keurig this will work in, it should work in most Keurigs that have the single needle at the top. This is the K Slim. This is the K Select. It's got a single needle at the top. Your K Supremes have got 5 needles. They take a different reusable K Cup. So any standard Keurig that takes just a standard normal K Cup, this should work in. Now, sometimes they don't work in there. Sometimes you do get some water that leaks out around the side, and it may just be that particular Keurig that it doesn't like. But for the most part, they should work in a standard, even like a K Duo. You've got a K Cup on this side. It's got the single needle. It's got the standard Keurig basket there. This should work. So I've done some price checks. So when you use your own coffee grounds, so a standard K Cup costs between 50 and 75 cents, depending on where you get it and what type. I've done the math. 2 tablespoons of coffee grounds cost you about 20 to 25 cents. Now that doesn't include the cost of the K Cup. Again, this is $4.25 each. They come in a package of 2. But so you can do it for half the cost. 50 cents, 20 to 25 cents. You know, this is more environmentally friendly. You do have to use some water because you got to clean this out. You get a lot of coffee grounds there. So you will get some coffee grounds down your sink. Whereas this, you've got to recycle the aluminum, the plastic, and the coffee grounds. It's kind of a pain. So I found this really neat chart inside this filter box, but the grind of the coffee is going to be very important. We want a number 4, a medium grind. If you have too fine of a grind, the water's not going to go through the K Cup and it'll back up and clog. If it's too coarse, you won't be able to extract the flavor from the coffee. You won't get that brew. So a number 4, a medium grind. And what's nice about this is you can use your own coffee grounds. Now most coffee just says ground coffee. This is for like a drip coffee maker. This works fine. They're usually ground at a medium grind. So like you've got this Folgers ground, it just says ground coffee. But if you look, that's a medium grind. It's not too fine, it's not too coarse, it's just right. And again, you can take, you can have Starbucks grind your coffee for you. Just make sure they do it at a medium grind. And the possibilities are endless with coffee. Like this says drip. So that's ground coffee for a drip. So I've done the math. These things hold 2 tablespoons, which is the exact amount that a K Cup holds. Here I've taken apart. So I took apart a K Cup. I cut the top off. I've measured the ground. See how they're ground at a medium grind. And there's 2 tablespoons of coffee in a K Cup. But what you're going to notice is they are in a paper filter. So see that's a paper filter that your coffee grounds are kept in. Now that's going to be important later. What we're going to find out with these reusable K Cups is, so this is a filter. It keeps your coffee grounds out, but you do get a little bit of sediment in your coffee. I don't know if sediment's good or bad. I actually think sediment actually makes the coffee taste a little bit better. But they do make paper filters for these. And I'm going to be doing a coffee with and without the paper filter, just to show you. So the first one is we're just going to fill this up with coffee, and we're not going to put a paper filter in here. Now, Perfect Pod sells this Easy Scoop. You can get this at Walmart for $14. It comes with two of the... So Perfect Pod sells reusable K cups. So you get two of these pods and a scoop for 14 bucks. That's a pretty good deal. I really do like the scoop. At first I thought it was gimmicky, but when you try to fill this up with coffee, you can make kind of a mess. So this thing works really well. The scoop is exactly 2 tablespoons, and you can reach in, grab your 2 tablespoons, flip the lid over, and then pour it right in. It works so nice. Okay, so we don't want any coffee grounds on the lip. We want that to seal really good. So we're just going to push this down. Again, I wish that snapped a little tighter. And we don't want any coffee grounds on the outside. That will make its way into your drink. So we just leave the needle basket in. We can simply just put it there. Make sure it's nice and flush. And when you close the handle, you shouldn't have to use much force. Nice and easy. Now the nice thing about Keurigs is you can brew these reusable K cups just like a K cup on any setting you want. To me, the 12 ounces and the 10 ounces is just too watered down. I brew my coffee K cups on the 8 ounce, but you can brew them whatever you'd like. So let's do an 8 ounce. By the way, this is the K Slim I'm using. I've tried it on the K Select and the K Mini, it works. But here's your coffee coming out. Again, I'm doing 8 ounces. Now what we're looking for is no water coming out around the machine. That means all the water is going through the K cup. They do get a little weaker towards the end, so you're supposed to stir these coffees. Okay, so here we have our coffee, and to me it tastes every bit as good as a normal K cup. And it almost tastes just as good as like a drip coffee maker. I do find a drip coffee maker might taste just a little smoother, but these are really starting to taste good. Let's go over cleanup. We're gonna lift the lid. Now sometimes you do find a bunch of water up here. I haven't found that on this machine. Looks like it did a pretty good job. Be careful, these can be hot, but you just gotta pull it out. So you open it up, it looks like it didn't get any coffee on the outside. So there's your coffee grounds. So the coffee comes out, it looks like it got all nice and saturated good. Now you can see this is the part where you got to do some cleaning now. And you do have to clean these out. You do get some coffee oils and stuff on there. So you want to clean this out before your next use. Okay, so I took it over to the sink, I cleaned it up, I had a brush. And it cleans up very nice. So now we're going to use a paper filter. So I've got Perfect Pod makes paper filters, and this other company, ProMail, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but they make disposable. These are 2 of the top rated paper filters on Amazon. So we're going to try this one. They don't look much different. I mean, it just looks like a standard coffee paper filter. So these are preformed, and you just got to grab one. Make sure you only grab one, because they stick together. Now here's the trick. You want to put this in there. You want to make sure you get it all the way to the bottom. It's okay if the paper sticks up above, because when we close the lid, it's okay if we sandwich the paper. We just don't want any coffee grounds up here. I have noticed you run into problems when you get coffee grounds on the lip. And I have noticed, so you've got the 2 tablespoons. With that paper filter in there, you can't quite get 2 tablespoons. So I go a little bit less than 2 tablespoons because that paper filter takes up some room and it just works out a little better. So there I've got just a little less. You're going to pour it in. Now it's okay if it mounds a little bit. That's okay. We just don't want any coffee grounds on the lip. Then we're going to close this in one swoop. Okay, no coffee grounds on the outside, and the lid is all the way closed. We can simply put it in there like a K-cup, close this, do another 8-ounce brew. This one's using a filter. Here comes your coffee out. Okay, that coffee's done. So cleanup is about the same. Looks like I did get a little bit of coffee backed up around here. I didn't see any dripping around. Again, be careful, these can be hot. So the paper filters do make cleanup a lot easier. Well, I say that, but normally you can kind of grab the paper filter and then see it all comes out. So you still have to clean the lid. You don't have to do as much cleaning down there, but here's your coffee grounds, and you'll see the paper filter turns a brown. That's because it's preventing that sediment. So one last thing I want to show you. So this is the first one we brewed without a paper filter. I just want to show you that you do get some sediment in the bottom of your, so there's that sediment I was talking to you about. Again, I don't know if it's good or bad. I'm actually starting to find that, you know, if you stir your coffee up, you're not going to see it in the bottom there as much, but if you let your coffee sit, you'll see it. To me at first, it just caught me by surprise because I was using a drip coffee maker for a long time. And when you use a drip coffee maker, you use paper filters normally. Let's do the one. This is the one with the paper filter. Yeah, see, you do get a little bit of sediment, but yeah, pretty nice. So this was just a review of this one. I am going to be doing a comparison video. I bought the top 4 reusable K cups off of Amazon, and my next video is going to be a comparison of all 4. Thanks everybody for watching. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments down below. And if you could, please like and subscribe.